Our next guest, we've all maybe put on a few pounds during this COVID crisis. Remember the freshman 10? Well, it's like the COVID 20. But you can take off those pounds and get healthy. And with us now is going to be Will McCray. He's the fitness trainer and owner for WillPower Fitness Group. Will, can you help me with my willpower though?
Absolutely. That's what the foundation of my company was built on, that principle. Also, it's a play on my name too. So,
Well, it's a good name. But when I went to your website, I was a little intimidated because you guys are serious about fitness.
yeah, definitely serious about fitness. This has been a passion of mine since I was 12 years old. That's when I got my first weight set for Christmas, and I kind of fell in love with lifting weights from that point. And the reason why I actually got that weight set for Christmas was my mother, she struggled with depression and anxiety. And so instead of finding healthy ways to cope with the issues that she was going through, she chose alcohol. And, she was an alcoholic. So I needed an outlet, at that point, because, at 12 years old, wasn't exactly sure how to deal with those emotions and the things that I was going through. So, I really had two outlets. That was school and then in lifting weights. And so as I started lifting weights, it made me feel good. It made me feel better. I kind of zoned out and used that as my therapy. And, I would be in my room, for hours and hours, making all kind of noise, slamming weights around, just in my zone. And so, that's where my passion came from. It was really out of, trauma. And, when my mother passed away, she was 34 years old, which was, extremely young. And I was 16 at the time. And so, that kind of solidified my path to health and fitness because, not only did I not want to meet that same fate that my mother, met, unfortunately, untimely, but I wanted to prevent people from going down that same path. And so that passion was deep. And, it's really what I built my company on, the why principle, which is helping people discover their true meaning, their true reason as to why, they're embarking on their fitness journey. And so after, my mother passed, I went on to college, Michigan State. I got my degree in kinesiology and exercise science and really pursued my passion right out of college.
And so with that, we are coming out of the pandemic. We hope so anyway, but gyms were closed down for a good portion of this time. How did that impact some of your clients?
Yeah, I mean, working out, believe it or not, is more mental than it is physical. And so lifting weights, working out, exercise, it helps a lot of people in that mental aspect. It's a de-stressor. And so when gyms were closed, it was a very depressing time for a lot of people, a lot of my clients who used the gym as an outlet like I did when I was younger. And so we kind of had to pivot our model, and, doing online training and virtual training has become the norm. And so we had to adapt to the new way of life. And even though it's not exactly the same, you still get some of those same, benefits with the virtual training as you do in person, minus the social interaction, which is an important piece, as we all know, for humans. But we just had to adapt, and it was very difficult. Everything was up in the air. We had no date as to when we could return back to the gym. So, 1 month turned into 2, turned into 3, turned into 6, and it ended up being a 9-month ordeal for gym closures.
Will McCray with us here on the MegaCast. He's a fitness trainer and owner of WillPower Fitness Group. And looking at your website, you're not just a gym, you're not just a personal trainer. In a way, you're also a counselor that brings these people together.
Absolutely. That's a great way to put it. And that's the way I feel a lot of times. People look to me as that outlet, as their counselor, as their listener, as their, comforter. I know things about my clients that maybe, their spouses or children, don't even know. They feel comfortable with opening up to me, and, really because of my story and how transparent I am with telling my story and, the things that I went through. And that's the reason why I always open with my story, to kind of break that barrier, to break that ice, and to let people know that, this is much more than just physically working out. I'm treating your mental well-being as well.
For so many of us, it's been hard to get back into the gym. It's about a routine. And it seems all of us, our routines have been upended right now because of the COVID-19 crisis. How do you motivate people? But it's not just to motivate them once, to keep that motivation going.
Yeah, it starts with discovering that reason why. The why takes care of everything. So if you have a strong reason why, it doesn't matter what's going on outside or in your home, you are going to stick to your goals. You're going to be consistent. You're going to be committed. Now, if you don't have a strong reason why, then, the things that are going on around you will affect you, and it will affect your motivation. But like I said, if you have a deep reason why, that's what's going to get you off the couch when you're tired. That's what's going to get you off the couch when it's cold outside. The weather is nasty. We live in Michigan, so we all know about the weather. So that's what starts the motivation process is discovering that why.
So now that the gyms are allowed to be reopened, how is business going for you?
Business is good. It's not the same as it was pre-COVID. There are a lot of people that are reluctant to return back to the gyms. There's a fear. There's a cloud of fear, certainly. People are scared of the germs and, the possibility that they may come into contact with, this virus, this deadly virus, this unfortunate string of events that we've had to deal with. So there's going to be a good portion of people that don't return back to the gyms. And so what we're looking at is really a change in the way the industry will have to operate going forward. The old gym models most likely will not work. And so we have to adapt to, catering to people who don't feel comfortable with face-to-face contact. So you have to develop a strong online presence. You got to get savvy with social media. You got to get comfortable with, being on camera. A lot of people aren't. So there are a lot of things that, we have to deal with. But with any business, if you're not able to adapt and change, then, you'll meet the same fate as, a lot of the businesses that unfortunately weren't able to make it out of, this pandemic this past year.
I will say, when some of the gyms went online, at first I was like, how is that going to work? But hello, Jane Fonda did it for how many years, right?
Right.
So,
Yeah.
but and social media is making it so much easier, and it is another way for so many people to stay connected. But shooting video for exercise is a little bit different than an influencer showing you the latest lip gloss.
Yeah, I mean, it's a ton of work, to be honest. You actually have to do the entire workout, pretty much, nonstop. So, that's different than, being, in person where you're showing, clients the exercises and having them perform it. You now have to do the entire workout with them. So, you actually have to be in shape to do this.
So you're getting in your workout as well a few times, right?
Yeah.
Will McCray with us here on the MegaCast. He's a fitness trainer and owner for WillPower Fitness Group. How can people learn more about your gym, and should they be intimidated?
No, not at all. You see this smile? You shouldn't be intimidated at all. Like that's a common thing that I get. People, they look at my pictures and they look at, my videos, and, they automatically think that, this experience is going to be like I'm going to be a drill sergeant. I'm going to be yelling and screaming at you and, saying all kind of crazy things, but I'm actually the complete opposite. I'm one of the nicest, down to earth people that you'll ever meet. And that's never been my training style. I'm not a yeller. I'm not a screamer. I motivate people in other ways. But yeah, you can find more about me. You go to my website, willpowerfitnessgym.com. You can find all of the classes, online classes that I have available. And I have actually a beginner's class called Genesis. Get it like in the beginning. So those are for people that, may have never worked out before, or it's been a long time since they've worked out, or they have, injuries, past injuries or modifications, restrictions. So that class is perfect for the people that, they may feel a little intimidated, at first. On social media, you can find me on Facebook, WillPower Fitness Group, and on Instagram, WillPower Fitness.
So one of the big questions right now, obviously, with so many people that have gone through COVID, as they start to get back into a routine, is high intensity better for them, or is it low intensity, and how to modify it?
Yeah, you definitely want to start off slow. You don't want to push yourself too hard too early. I recommend taking a gradual approach where you do a little bit more each time. I look at it this way: it's a marathon and not a sprint. So there's no need to rush. Start slow. If you need modifications, I have tons of classes and exercises for modifications. But COVID, the main thing is you want to remain active. You want to keep that activity level up. The more activity you have, the stronger your immune system is. And but don't rush, because that's a surefire way to injure yourself. Or if you are coming off having COVID, then your endurance is certainly not where it was before. So you have to work a little bit harder to get that lung capacity up. So start slow.
So with that, Will Mcrae with us here on the MegaCast. He's a fitness trainer and owner for WillPower Fitness Group. Tell us where you're located, and do you have memberships, or can people just drop in for a class to experience the gym before they commit to it?
Yes, the gym is located in downtown Clawson, right on the southwest corner of 14 Mile and Main Street, 22 South Main Street. I do have drop-in classes and also memberships available. So we have our basic membership, which is $20 per month. It gives you access to the facility whenever you want within the gym hours. We have our VIP membership that gives you access to the gym, but also unlimited classes that you can take per month. So we have two different memberships, the basic and the VIP. And we do have drop-in rates for classes, so you don't have to be a member to take a class, but we certainly do want you to join, but you don't have to be a member to take our classes.
Clawson is like the new and upcoming city. They're rebounding there in Clawson.
Yeah, it's crazy. I look out, on the streets, and there are new businesses popping up. Seems like every week. So this is definitely a place to be. It's a great area, great businesses. So I encourage people to come out and stop by the gym. There are also healthy restaurants in the area too. So don't go the fast food route after you work out.
You don't want to do that, because we do hear over and over, you can't outrun a bad diet.
Right. Exactly. The diet is 75% of the battle. So, and really the hardest part to tackle for most people.
So, Will, any last minute advice for the COVID couch potatoes out there?
Yeah. Get off the couch. That's but the good thing is you can get off your couch and not have to leave your house. So like I said, we got a great lineup of virtual classes. We got our Genesis class. We have our band camp, which is a boot camp class where we use resistance bands. We have legendary legs. It's a leg workout. We have fab abs. It's a 30-minute ab workout. So we have beatboxing, because we also do boxing and kickboxing in this gym. So that's a 30-minute high-intensity cardio boxing class. So all this stuff you can do right, from your living room. But get off the couch, though.
It starts with getting off the couch. Will, thank you so much for being with us. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.